was born and raised in Iran, and my father used to make wine. And I was 6 years old when first time I had the encounter with wine. I went down to the cellar of my dad, and he had a big clay vat that fermenting the wine. So I climbed, and I couldn't reach the juice. So I dropped a towel and I started sucking the wine. And that was my first experience with wine. At age 6. And ever since, I got so happy by drinking that wine that I become a component of the wine.
Darioush Khaledi immigrated to the United States in the 1970s. Many years later, his true love of wine led him to create what many would consider to be one of the new icon wineries of Napa Valley. But his nationality comes as a surprise to many, as the Middle East isn't exactly famous for wine these days.
We have about 60, 70,000 visitors each year, and good majority of them, when they learned that my father was making wine in Iran, I said, "Oh, do they make wine in Iran?" I said, "Yes, we've been making it for 7,000 years. If you don't believe it, go to University of Pennsylvania. There is a wine jar that has a 7,000 years history and residue of wine inside. They did the DNA test, and that wine jar come from Iran." So they gave a credit to Persians for the first winemakers of the world.
Indeed, the grape variety Shiraz is said to get its name from the Iranian city of the same name. Originally, Darioush was a big fan of French wines, and he had actually planned to buy a chateau in Bordeaux, but a visit to Napa in the late 80s changed all that.
So 21 years ago, when my wife and I were celebrating our 20th anniversary in Napa for the first time, I never visited Napa, I never tasted California wine. And we were in the nice setting of Auberge du Soleil, in the outdoor, and looking at the valley, and I told my wife, Shahpar, let's drink California wine. We are in Napa, we might as well taste Napa wine. And then I remember I look at the wine list, and I didn't know any of them. I have a theory that whenever in any region you don't know the good wine from the bad, you order the most expensive wine. You could not go wrong. So I ordered, it was 1984 Camus Special Select, and I drink the wine and said, wow, this is California wine.
Darioush became intrigued. He went and met the owners of Camus and started to learn more about Napa. Before long, he was driving up and down the valley, getting to know the terroirs and looking for the perfect piece of property, which he eventually found in 1997.
When I bought the property, I had no clue that I'm going to name it Darioush and we're going to build the Persepolis here. It just, everything happens. And, Napa 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't like today. Most of the tasting room were like Motel 6 or Holiday Inn. And I wanted to create the four-season atmosphere in Napa. The architect that I hired, he was also a Persian. And he said, you know, we might as well build the Persepolis here. I said, wow. And then, then I said, well, if we build in Persepolis, we have to bring the stone from Iran near Persepolis to be original.
The winery is truly an architectural wonder. The gardens are beautiful, the underground cellar is a showpiece, and you really feel like you're somewhere special. Darioush certainly spared no expense creating his dream.
It's a wrong impression to say wine business, because I'm very spoiled in the grocery business that I'm in. We put money and the next day we take money. In the wine business, should not be a business, you put money and then you put money and then you put money. You never take it. It never comes back.
Sometimes successful people from other walks of life come into the wine business, splash out on a stunning new winery, but then fail when it comes to creating top quality wines. This is certainly not the case at Darioush. The wines have been ranked in the Wine Spectator Top 100. They regularly score in the high 90s and scoop up dozens of gold medals at shows. The Viognier is one of the best in Napa Valley, the Cabernet is outstanding, and there's actually a waiting list to get an allocation of the flagship wine. There's no question at all that the winery is Darioush's true love, and he's been a great asset to Napa Valley.
In fact, when I was hiring our president 6 years ago, I was touring him the vineyard, and he asked me, what is our exit strategy? And I showed him that oak tree in the vineyard. I said, that's my exit strategy. My grave would be there under that oak tree. And when my children and grandchildren, they are going to have a hard time to sell this property because their grandfather and father is buried.